welcome back to another Financial Coach's reaction video. And I am fired up to watch this video that a friend of mine sent me, and he said that I need to react to it because supposedly Dave Ramsey got a call from a guy named John on the show that he won the $22 million lottery jackpot. Show me the money! And you should also check out the video I did on the 10 things you should do when you win the lottery within 30 days. And I'll link that video in the description below. But with that said, let's get right into it.
John, in quotes, that's not his real name, in other words, from Louisville, Kentucky, not his real place, in quotes. Big secret call coming in. So, John, what's your question?
Yes, sir. Well, about 2 years ago, I won one of those multi-state lottery drawings with a group of coworkers, and I haven't told anyone besides my wife and besides one sibling. No one knows. And
how much?
My question for you, after taxes, it was about $22 million.
After taxes, wow.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Holy crap is the understatement of the century. Yeah.
How old are you?
It was a lot. I'm edging up on about 50 years old.
Okay.
So this video came out about 2 months ago, sometime in October, and you say you won about 2 years ago. And let me check Mega Million jackpot lottery winner here. So the Mega Millions jackpot history from 2021 shows a family winning in Arizona, a Good Times LLC in Manhattan, New York, Crestwood in Illinois, some trust fund or trust LLC in Pennsylvania, and another LLC or a couple in New York, and LLC in Michigan. So let me check the Powerball website. Okay, so the Powerball winners from 2021 show someone winning in California, but depending on where he bought his lottery ticket, he's gonna have to follow the privacy laws in the state where he won and not his residential state. And depending on the state that he won, because it was him and his coworkers, and let's just say he won with 4 or 5 other people, I don't know if they're gonna talk about that in the video, they probably claimed the prize under an LLC that was under a trust. But what he and his coworkers most likely did was to create a trust with 5 separate beneficiaries. So when that trust claims the prize, it equally distributes to 5 separate people, and they're each responsible for taxes and all of that. But this is pretty awesome.
My wife and I made a conscious decision just to kind of keep it under wraps. And it's kind of, we've kept keeping it under wraps. We haven't even told our 2 teenage children. And now I know that sounds strange, but we just don't want them to grow up to be waiters, waiting for us to die so they can get our money.
That's fantastic, man.
Oh man, this is a fantastic quote. I don't want my kids to be waiters, just waiting for us to die. This is just great. He's also right about how lottery winners go bankrupt because about 70% of them do so within a few years. When you suddenly go from $75,000 a year in income to $22 million in a lump sum payment is a big change. Unless you're the type of person who's been handling this type of money for years, and it's going to be very difficult to transition to the multi-millionaire status. And all of a sudden, you're impulsively purchasing houses, cars, vacations, and things that you don't need in excess. And not to mention all kinds of people coming out of the woods asking for your money, right? There's always that one person you haven't talked to in years asking for money because he or she has some kind of sad story.
I don't think I would tell my teenage kids either.
No, I'm okay with that.
No, I want them to go figure out what they want to do in life and get going
go
on
be
the track,
somebody.
and then I'll let them know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep it from them forever, but our parents and stuff, we haven't told any of them. We had another incident about a month after we won the lottery incident. I don't want to call it. My wife's great uncle passed away shortly thereafter, and he didn't have any kids and he was never married. And he left most of his inheritance to my wife and her siblings. So we've been able to use that as like our cover story for when we help people. Like I bought my mom a roof. I know, really, really nice of me. But story. When she says, "How can you afford this?" I just say, "Oh, it's great, Uncle Bob's money, Mom. He wanted us to do this." Or whatever.
Uncle Bob's money's
And that's
at least 2x'd now. That's great.
I'm with Dave on this one. I wouldn't tell my teenage kids either. And I have an 11-year-old who is stuck with a dad nerding out finances all the time. So I've been teaching her how to spend money, save money, and actually invest her money in her UTMA, which stands for Uniform Transfers to Minors Act. It's a taxable brokerage account for minors that can be used for non-educational expenses. If you want to learn more about that, you can always consider joining my private client program to get financial coaching and financial planning services. You can schedule a free consultation with me by visiting firestarchat.com/coaching. But this is excellent advice, and let the teenage kids go become somebody. I would still pay for their college tuition and all that, but I want to make sure that the kids grow up without thinking that they're going to be relying on their trust funds for the rest of their lives.
You're going to love me, Dave. My house was paid off before I won this.
Yeah.
My wife and I really have no desire to move.
Good.
We had just paid cash for 2 Toyotas before we won this, and we still have them. We're not looking to upgrade to anything because they're perfectly fine cars. So
okay.
we
Are you still working?
I'm not.
Are you still working?
I am still working.
Do you
Isn't
hate
that
it?
ridiculous?
No, it's not.
No, actually, that's why I'm there, because I kind of like my job.
Okay.
Good for you.
I think you should keep working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy sounds very level-headed too. Not only is he debt-free, but he's actually paid off his home already. And I don't know about continuing to work, but it's really up to every individual, right? You might be at a job that you really enjoy doing. Since he's in his 50s, I would definitely consider an early retirement and enjoy his life a little bit more. He has $22 million that he's never going to run out if he spends it responsibly. And if he invests that whole $22 million, he doesn't even need to do a 4% withdrawal rate, because that's what, $880,000 a year. He could sit in first class on every international flight and it still doesn't make a dent. And I would probably withdraw like $300,000 a year just to travel and do something I love. He probably doesn't have a lot of expenses anyway, with his mortgages and everything else completely paid off. You can download my compound interest calculator and other financial resources by visiting firestarchat.com/resources to calculate your investment withdrawal rate.
What you've discerned is that some of the people in your life could not handle the equation.
Correct. That is a very good assumption on your part.
Yeah. And so you're
Yeah,
doing them a favor by not putting the strain on them, including teenagers. So the only thing I can get close to is that by the time my kids were teenagers, we had begun building substantial wealth. We could buy whatever car we wanted to buy. We could go on whatever vacation we wanted to go on, and it wouldn't affect us. We had good money, okay? But the kids had no idea. And our kids had a double problem. One is their dad's in the spotlight, and everybody knows us, right? Because we're known in the community, and talks about money, no duh. And if they had that and they knew that we had millions of dollars, as a teenager, I don't think they could have processed it. So they did not know. They knew we were okay with money. They knew we lived the principles that we teach, and we made them live the principles that we teach. But they did not know X number of dollars was the net worth, right? I only disclosed that to them after they graduated from college, and I involved their spouses because by that time, 2 of them were married.
This is another sound advice from Dave Ramsey. My daughter is too young to know or understand it, but I will take my time to educate her on how to live less than she makes, invest early, and manage debt on things that appreciate in value. And I have a will and a trust that comes with very specific instructions. If something happened to me and my wife, my daughter would not be able to handle all the wealth that I passed down to her, right? So the idea I had when I created my will was that she would go to college for absolutely free with the funds that I set aside for her, but she's not going to get the rest of my wealth if she doesn't try to make something of herself. And it sounds terrible when I say this, but if something happens to both me and my wife, then she's going to be like a lottery winner in the worst way possible. She would not be ready to handle that kind of stress or have that money management skills to invest without a team around, right? That's something to think about if you're watching this and you have minors in your household.
My sister called me the other day and said, "What was your big splurge?" And my answer was patio furniture. I'm not a big flashy guy. I don't.
Well, I think you need to increase gradually the enjoyment of this money. Not to name the exposing the secret, but you need to increase the enjoyment, and you need to increase your generosity factor systematically. You need to say, all right, this year we're going to spend $400,000 on this or that.
Create some neat memories with your kids.
Yeah, do some things intentionally with this without just kind of rolling up an extra $1 million into the budget this year. You don't have to do that, although you've got it. But yeah, wow.
Congratulations, brother.
It's a very good, healthy view.
Yeah, what a wonderful man he is. He's really humble about all of this, and he's handling this situation very well. And I agree with Dave and the other guy, I can't remember his name, that's sitting next to him, but he does need to enjoy things a little bit more. And I'm the same way he is. And I'm not the type of guy to want to drive a Lamborghini around, but I would probably splurge a little bit and buy a very nice vehicle. And I'm not going to buy a mansion either, because those property taxes and homeowners insurance alone will eat my money away. And then I would probably buy a vacation home by a beach somewhere so that my wife and I could vacation there whenever we want and just rent it out when we're not there or something like that, right? And I would definitely focus on giving. And that's a big part of my life right now because I'm able to do it. And it's a good reminder that I was there when I struggled with finances. Being able to buy other people's groceries during the holidays without recognition is something that makes my heart warm. And I truly love this video and how Dave Ramsey responded to him. And I may not always agree with him, but this was a really good video. And this has been another piece of a video, and I hope you got a lot out of it.